In this video series, I am taking my Porsche 2002 996 and converting it to a 991 GT3 RS. And today, we're going to get that car one step nearer to the body shop. So let me tell you what today's job is. We're going to go down to the front of the car this time. And we're going to be working on this wing. And two jobs I've got here to do today is we're going to get this petrol cap in place and hopefully fully working. And the second job is to get this charcoal filter fitted underneath the wing here, which won't fit at the moment because of this wing. So we're going to need to make a little bit of adjustment to get that in there. Right, so my first job is we're going to be actually taking the wing off because we've got to get the charcoal filter to fit properly in there, and we may need to just cut a piece off this wing because it's just in the way. So let's remove it. Oh, she's off. Right. So now the wing being removed, one of the jobs we have to do is refit this charcoal filter, like I was saying. This is the broken one. So this got damaged there, it's got damaged here, and it also broke this pipe here. Now I've investigated the price of one of these and it's ridiculous money. I don't think I'm going to pay that. I think I'm going to bond that back together to save money. So I've got my new charcoal filter that will be fitted in its place. And also on that wing will be all of this, which is the petrol flap. So we've got all the parts that we need to put the petrol flap together. That's if I can remember how it all goes, but that's a bit later. Let's get that charcoal filter sorted. So I'm going to use this bit, which is Unibond Repair Power Epoxy for plastics, because that's what we've got here. So it's a matter of, we need to get that and we need to glue it back on to there. And it says it sets in 5 minutes, but do we believe 5 minutes? We'll soon see. I'm going to have to hold this because it's such a weird shape. I can't get anything clamped together. Let's give that a go. And here we go, guys. Well, I've got to say that bond stuff was absolute pants. So what we did in the end, I'm not sure if you can see that, but we actually got the soldering iron out and we did a bit of plastic welding, and that's now solid. So that's good enough to go back on the car. But first of all, we've got to adjust that wing for this to fit. So let's go do that. So we're going to need to take just a little bit off this front wing, or fender if you're in America, and I've just marked it there with a pen just to sort of roughly take that off, and hopefully that'll be enough so we can get the actual charcoal filter in. And to do that, I'm going to use my trusty angle grinder. And then we use a trusty belt sander to just clean that edge up. Right, back on. Will the charcoal filter fit? Let's check it out. She fits, thank God for that. So next stage is now we need to get this wing off, get it outside where it's a bit easier to work on, and start working on the petrol flap. And the job of the petrol flap starts with a hole. Right guys, so we're coming to fitting this actuator now, and well, we've got an issue. Take a look at this. So this is a bracket that actually came with the wing. This is all moulded on in the fiberglass. But no way, I mean, that's not going to fit. I mean, the hole is there, look, you see the hole I drilled, so that pin has to go through that hole there. Now this is no way going to fit on there, it's not going to fit on here, because that would be too low, and oh yeah, it's just, won't fit that way up, it's going to be too high. So the only way we found it to fit is if we actually push it through that way, like that. That has now gone through that hole. So if you look underneath there, you can actually see that the pin has come out here, and we just need it to come level with the tape here to actually lock the flap. So that meant that we would have to mount this somehow in a position there, which is obviously a big gap. Well, we've come up with one of these spacers. So we found this spacer, and what we've done, we've got a bit of a 45-degree on it there, took a bit off the edge there, and if we just push that nicely into there like that, and we can use one of these screws rather than the screws that came with it, we can go through the spacer, we can capture the actuator there, and fit it like so. That gives us, because I've slotted where this screw is going in, it gives us a little bit of back and forward to actually get it in the right position. We're going to need to install a second screw further forward, but that's another job. And that should give us the actuation that we need when the solenoid works back and forward. Let me show you from the other side what that should do. So there's the pin for the door, and you see that goes in and comes out, and that should lock your fuel door. And that has taken us about 2 hours to figure out a solution to that. But hey, we're getting there now. So we'll actually put a screw in the back bit. I'll sort something out for that. Next thing you see, we're going to fit this back on and see if it all works. Yes, I think that's going to do the job. Right, so the only issue we've got now, if you look here, is whether we can get the actual plug on the back of that now. So we'll have to take this inside there and just see if we can get the plug on. But apart from that, I think we're in a good position, and yeah, we should be good to go. So let's take it inside and see if that plug fits on. So that's not doable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that plug off, and I'm going to extend the wires a little bit, and then we'll plug it in, and then I'll make a couple of little connectors that I can put on my own just outside here, so I don't need to rely on that plug. Right, so I'm going to use these little bullet connectors here. So what we need to do is just crimp them onto this end, and then we'll crimp them on the other end, and then I can easily plug them together underneath the vehicle. Just need to go do these on the other end. Damn. It's the wrong way, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be that way, isn't it? Different sizes. What the hell? It's like bigger. To squeeze the end of that. There you go. Right, so let's see if we can get this fitted now. So this just needs plugging in to there, which hopefully we can do it while we're out here. If not, I'm going to have to just loosen off the actual bracket. So, right, so that's connected on there now. Simple movement. So let's go pop the wing back on, and we'll connect these up. So let's plug this in and see what happens. That's not moving though, is it?
So should that move on you?
I don't know, that's the thing, yeah. I mean, you would think, I'm assume that's you trying to lock it. Yeah, that's unlocked.
I thought it would only move when you wanted your petrol cap up.
Yeah, but you don't have a button for it, that's what I'm saying. I think it's when you lock the car. When you lock the car, that comes out. But that might just be on the blipper. Right, so that is now fitted. As you can see here, look, we've got the actuator pin there. Just come out and go in. But I can't get this working because all I've got is the door key. I never got a remote that worked on this, so I ain't got a fob. And I'm thinking that maybe just works with the fob. Anybody know? Put it in the comments if you know that only works with the fob, because obviously that's going to tell the ECU to lock the car and hopefully push that pin out, whereas turning the key in the lock just locks the doors. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Drop a comment if you think you know different. So what we're going to do now is we're going to continue on with this petrol flap area, and the next job is to fit the actual filler cap to the edge of this wing. Right, so I've just put that on, and now I realise I've got to put this bit on before. Right, so that's all mangled in here. So the next bit now, let's see if we can get the flap on and its hinge. Right, so this is the petrol flap bracket that we need to fit onto the car. And then this is a petrol flap hinge, which I had to buy that new from Porsche. It wasn't very expensive. And obviously the petrol flap, which I got with the car, the hinge pushes onto there like that. And then that sits in two little cutout squares here, which haven't been cut out. So I'm gonna have to cut these out to allow that to clip into there and hold nicely, so it holds the petrol flap in place. And there she is. Well, I think we've fast forwarded that, but that took me about an hour of just filing, cutting, and just getting it to fit so it went in nicely. But they're fitting there nicely now. That is nice and solid. And now we need to fit that onto the car. So the way this fits on now is got two bolts down here, which are a bit tight against this plate here, but we'll sort that out. And two bolts at the top here. I think what we'll do is we'll take the wing outside, because then we can faff about with this, and we've got much more access underneath the wing. So let's do that. More adjustment needed there then. There's no other way of doing that, is there really? That's back and forward is a little bit off as well. That is a long way out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Long way out. Yeah, that's going to need holes. I'm going to have to take these out. Well, this side might be all right.
Yeah, so I might just drop this side down.
Yeah. Let's get my blue pen and mark them holes. So far the holes are out. It's flat, isn't it? Yeah.
Certainly better than it was.
Yeah, flat side, it's good. Right then, so we've fitted this. Now, just come have a look at this over here, Dave. So, look at the gap here, guys. So we've got a massive gap there, but we've got quite a decent gap around that side. So what's going on? So, do you guys know, is a GT3 or GT3RS or a 991 fuel filler door actually slightly bigger than the old 996? I'm suspecting it is. So what I might do, I might go online and see if I can find a fuel filler door from a 991, and then we can, I'm hoping that it's still the same fittings here. I'll check on the diagrams just to make sure it is, and then we can give that a try, can't we? Yeah, so we've got the flap on, and we've got the old pin that should go and push in like that, and that locks the door, and then you can take it out when the car opens to actually remove that pin, and you can open the flap. So we're almost there with this, but not quite. Right, so let's get this back on the car now, and let's get it refitted and get that charcoal filter in place. Right, the wing's all in place, so now we need to replace this charcoal filter, and if you remember, we had our repaired part. Are these going to go in there easier than getting them on there? Will be, won't they?
What's that?
These will push in there
Yeah.
easier than
Yeah.
that'll push in there.
Then-
So if I put that on and washing up liquid on the outside edge, oh, that seems very tight, that one. For this, we're going to use fairy liquid to actually help it slip into those two holes there. Right, here we go. Now all my connections are on the top, yeah. Oh, hang on. One job we just forgot. We haven't connected back the release for the petrol flap. So let's do that first. Would you believe there is a bracket in the way that is holding a solenoid on for the door?
Oh, no.
Right, now then, am I hitting those?
Something somewhere down the line is going to drop in the first time.
Oh no. Oh, David! David! That's in. Oh, that is supposed to be underneath, look. Ah, you little kid. That is supposed to be underneath. Didn't know whether it was or not.
Oh, right.
Done. Yeah, because that's going to go onto that pin there. Like that. And in that hole there. That's the nut that came off there. Just whack that on for now. And then the magic, so that's going to go like that. Maybe it does clip onto that, but or maybe something clips onto it. I'm pretty sure that went, yeah, it's like that, isn't it? Oh, do you think that goes behind as well? Like that. And then that does, right, so if we pop that on there then, like that. Yep, and pop that in there. And then pop that in. There is a place for it there. That's it. Yeah. That's on, that's on, that earth is on. Oh, that's a job and a half, but yeah, all that for a charcoal filter. Right, next job, let's get the inside of this flap sorted, and then that's this bit finished. So now we've got to try and get this bit behind the bracket we've fitted here. Now I did a little test out there and it kind of fits, so let's see if we can get it back on. It's also got to go around the filler neck. Oh, here we go, look. Oh, it's looking good, looking good. Oh, she clicked in. Oh my word. Something fit for once. Unbelievable. Last but not least, the fuel cap. Hey. Right, so there we go, guys. That's it. The fuel flap has now been done. The charcoal filter has now been put back in. This wing has been lined up, and I think that's taken us, again, hours and hours of work to get all of this hinge in place, which you don't allow for these sort of things. What a pain in the backside. I've lost nearly a whole day working on the car just to fit a fuel flap. Urgh. Anyway, that's part of building a body kit, guys. That's part of building one of these fiberglass type panels and getting them to fit right to the car. So again, if you did enjoy this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and give me a thumbs up for this video, because it all helps with the analytics, helps me to bring you more videos like this in the future. Till next time, stay safe.